You just finished up 6 months of coaching with me. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to before those 6 months and kind of tell us what your life was like. What was business like? Your life like before we started working together?
It was a little chaotic, to be honest, right? I think you'll remember that.
Right, yeah.
I found you through the Broomfield Chamber and thought that you would be good to help my team here at the branch, here at the office, really get back together. We had sort of drifted apart. We were struggling a bit. There was some anxiety, some friction. And I thought maybe we should all come together again and try to get rowing in the same direction.
Right.
So that's why I had brought you into the team. And I felt like the results of that were very successful. Everyone liked you. They liked what you had to say. They liked what you brought to the table, and then gave kind of as some homework, some to-dos, some things to think about. And I thought, well, maybe some one-on-one would be good to help me be a better leader here at the branch, help my employees figure out what they needed. You know, everyone's so individual. We're in sales, so we like things a certain way. But we all had to be doing things the right way. Right. And to get everybody, again, kind of rowing in the same direction, I felt like I needed some help. I needed to be that point person to help them figure out what is the right path and how do we work together better.
So if I can paraphrase a little bit, you were looking at it from, help my team and help my staff become better. I need to become better so I can help them. So maybe tell everybody that's watching this, maybe a little bit, what was the coaching sessions like? What was the environment like? And how did you feel during those sessions?
Well, I didn't know what to expect at first, right? So I was a little nervous, of course, but I think overall it was very easy and calm, and I didn't have any anxiety because it was really just conversation. You were just asking me questions, helping me kind of dig a little deeper. That part was a little uncomfortable. Sure. But the session itself, I didn't feel intimidated. I didn't feel like I was out of my element at all. Yeah. So thank you for that. The best thing that I got out of it was being really able to focus and develop a 1, a 3, and a 5-year plan for myself and my family. So both for my career and kind of where our family unit will be in those years and those amount of time. So that was really helpful because now I can make decisions based on that goal. And if it doesn't serve the goal, I'm not going to do it. Right. Yeah. And I don't have to feel guilty or bad about it. I get good at saying no, which is kind of exciting. The other piece then for the office was I was always the problem solver. And while I liked that role, it was really draining and it was time consuming and it was distracting. And so I really worked hard at trying to put that back on my teammate. Yeah. What did you try? Who have you called? What are the things that you've already done the research on? And try to help them kind of puzzle it out instead of just giving them the solution, because that doesn't empower anybody to find answers for themselves. It just empowers them to come right back and ask me again. Yeah. So that was really freeing and allowing me to have more time to do what I needed to do, which was my own production, taking care of my customers and taking care of the rest of the team. Yeah. You said 3 things in there that I really appreciate. The last one, you're talking about empowering your staff. I mean, even if you know the answer, we do have the tendency of saying, oh, here's what it is. But then me as an individual who doesn't know the answer, how do I know how to go find that answer? You're allowing me, you're coaching your staff on where to find the answer so they become a better worker and a better person. And the other thing I like that you said is, even though we were working together from a business coach perspective, you said it kind of dovetailed into kind of your life and your home life, which I always tell people, hey, those folks that say, hey, I leave my home life at home when I go to work. No, you don't, because you go to work, so your home life comes with you. And if you're working to try to get some traction in some area at work, it probably will take a little turn into home things that you're doing at home that may help you get better at what you're doing at work. What surprised you the most? What surprised me the most? Well, that I needed coaching. Right? Because I went into it not really knowing what I needed. Right. And not really having an expectation of what I was going to get in return. And so for me, the fact that I came out with a 1, a 3, and a 5-year plan that if somebody asked me, I could articulate. Sure. That I came out of it with some really good coping skills and really good empowerment skills for my teammates at the office. Yeah. That was amazing. And I can think back to it and be like, okay, what would Tim tell me to do? What would he remind me that we talked about? Right. And that helps me on a day-to-day basis keep my focus. Yeah, that's good.
So you're done with the coaching. We've spent 6 months together. And we talked about earlier, like what your life was like before, kind of chaotic.
Right.
So today, what is your life like now?
Yeah, well, it's definitely more balanced because I'm using those skills and those tools, some of those ninja skills that we talked about, to find that balance and to check myself and say, nope, don't solve that problem, right? Empower them to do it. Keep saying no to things that don't serve my 1, my 3, and my 5-year plan, right? Because probably the key to my success going forward is to say no more often than I say yes.
So what would you say to someone maybe who's watching this that is thinking about coaching, whether it's for life or whether business, and they're a little bit hesitant about it? What would you say to them?
Just do it. Don't be afraid. Life coaching sounds very overwhelming, right? Like, he's going to coach me in my life. What does that mean? Well, it's really just conversation and some accountability and an objective opinion about something, right? Sometimes when you're in something, you can't see the bigger picture.
Right.
So saying it out loud sometimes even just helps. So it's not that I came to you to fix everything. I think it was helping me slice it up and figure out, okay, it doesn't have to be this big overwhelming issue. Like, let's take piece by piece. And then in the end, I was like, oh, I got it. Right? Figured it out. So don't be afraid. Give it a try. You've literally got nothing to lose.
Any last words, any last thoughts that you want to share with folks that, again, you want to tell about your experience with coaching with myself, or just in general, some of the gains that you got out of it that you may want to just have people know?
So first of all, I'd like to thank you because it was really amazing. The last 6 months have been pretty transformational for me. And I don't mean that in a, wah, la, la, la type of way. I mean that as it got me thinking and it helped me gain some focus both at my job and in my personal life, which again, we sort of talked about, they overlap, right? And I gave myself a little grace along the way, which was also helpful. And I had some challenges. It wasn't all perfect. And we worked through those. We figured it out. You asked me all the right questions. You made me think, which, sometimes is frustrating. Like, I didn't want to do it, right? Or I would come to one of our appointments and say I didn't do my homework, right? And you didn't yell at me. You weren't probably very happy with me. But we worked through it as to why I didn't, right? And then maybe there was a block or there was something else happening. But I would say that it has been 6 months of really good exploration for me and kind of a launch for what I want to see in my future. So thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Cheryl, for being transparent, opening up, and sharing about your time with me and coaching. And hopefully, if you guys are out there thinking about coaching, I would love to spend some time. I'll buy you a cup of coffee, we'll get a drink, and just kind of see where you're at, and then I can try to answer any questions you have about the process of coaching, and then we can go from there. Tim Gaynor with Coach, Develop, and Inspire.